What's up, gang? So I'm probably gonna wind up losing a couple of subscribers because of this video, but you know what? It is what it is. I've had 100 people at least ask me my thoughts on what happened Saturday. Since this is the biggest news on the planet, our members of the community that we have on Facebook and on YouTube are gonna express their strong opinions. Some of those opinions are not the same. However, I'm gonna nip it in the bud right now with this video. I'm taking a risk and I'm making a video about it to share my thoughts because I feel it's important. Yes, I'm a woodworker, but first, I'm a father, I'm an American, and I'm a human. Well, I'm gonna start this off by just putting it out there that we all have our opinions on Trump. We all have our opinions on Biden. We all have our opinions on the Democrats, the Republicans, the moderates, the non-moderates, the center, the radicals. No matter how you feel about Trump, or no matter how you feel about Biden, the fact of the matter is, neither one of them deserve to have their life threatened, let alone deserve to have an assassination attempt. We were centimeters away from having a very different video. Thank God he turned his head. Roll the footage. Woodworking has done so much for my life. It has given me peace. It has given me an escape from all of the noise. But when the noise becomes an assassination attempt on a former president, I don't care your political leanings. I don't care if you're non-political like myself. I'm not a political person, but this is drawing a line in the sand. You'll hear the media telling people to tone down the rhetoric. It's time to tone down the rhetoric. I'm sorry, but you don't get to say that after this.
Let's deal with Hitler, okay?
I don't think it's hyperbolic to say that. I mean, that is Mussolini, Hitler-like language.
Trump's affinity for Hitler was always covered under an umbrella of his stupidity.
Echoing Hitler's words.
Listen to this. Well, Hitler was duly elected.
That's right. Echoing the hateful rhetoric of Adolf Hitler.
Yeah, so basically Trump's Hitler. Basically Trump supporters are supporting Hitler. Yeah.
It echoes Hitler.
That's the kind of language Hitler used in Mein Kampf.
About vermin and Hitler and Mussolini.
That's a horrifying clip. That's a fascist clip.
Just going full on Hitler.
From Hitler's Germany.
Donald Trump poses a threat to democracy. It's that Donald Trump only cares about himself. This is a populist looking to serve his own interest and harm other people and dismantle our democracy and make it just about himself. This is a guy who's doing it on behalf of Putin.
Do you think Trump cares about any of his supporters?
I think he's only ever cared about himself.
He's still a greasy pig.
He's still a greasy pig.
He said that a hallmark of strongman leaders is they don't care about their followers. Loathes Donald Trump. Things like a lunatic and a criminal, someone corrupt who's bankrupted people. That the goal for all of us to save our republic has to be to keep Donald Trump far away, make sure he never gets anywhere near the Oval Office again.
The threat that Donald Trump is to this nation.
Cult of authoritarian personality in league with autocrats and kleptocrats and dictators all over the world. Everybody has to follow Donald Trump like a monarch. That's what the election is going to be about. Democracy and freedom versus dictatorship and authoritarianism.
We want to remain a democracy, or do we want to take this hard turn into an autocracy and taking direct aim at our democracy?
So what do you think they mean when they say our democracy? I think I know what they mean.
Democratic-leaning remarks he has made in recent weeks and months, such as ones that echo Hitler.
Extreme measures taken to fundamentally change the course of the country or we're all going to die. Trying to get rid of the form of government that we have and install something else.
To the degree that the country's in any decline, it is the threat of a second Trump term. America becoming a threat, which is what it becomes, a threat to the world order if Trump is reelected, is a known, to quote Don Rumsfeld. America can survive one Trump term. It won't survive a second.
Now, that's nothing new. You know, I've heard that for going on 9 years now. And, you know, I take it with a grain of salt. Yeah, whatever, freedom of speech, that's all great. I'm not holding them accountable for Trump's assassination attempt. I'm holding the guy who pulled the trigger accountable, okay? However, when you come out and say both sides need to tone down the rhetoric, I'm sorry, but 8 years of what you just witnessed causes this.
So close. I'm not going to expand on what I'm about to say because it'll probably get taken down. But like, A for effort, man. Good for trying. He tried. There was an attempt made. So close.
Fantastic news! Donald Trump has been shot!
I think we forgot to mention when we were asking for, someone to bring back assassinating presidents like they used to, we forgot to mention that they have to have good aim. Remember, genies are tricky that way.
Wow.
I just found out about this shit. It just happened. I haven't even had a second to process. You're telling me somebody finally had the balls to bring a pew-pew, and he missed! We were a second away! We were a centimeter away from half of the problem being gone, and you missed! There was a white man attached to that trigger. I know it! We were a centimeter away! Ah!
So, if you're surprised or shocked that an assassination attempt happened, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I wasn't shocked. I wasn't surprised. So, with that being said, if you feel like those people feel, please unsubscribe immediately. I won't miss you. But if you're a common sense, hinged human being, I love the fact that you're here. And I don't care if you don't like Trump. I don't care if you don't like Biden. I don't care if you love Trump. I don't care if you love Biden. I don't care. I just want people to come together around this channel and this community and this content and embrace our differences and enjoy ourselves together. When it boils down to it, we're all one people on a globe that is spinning around at thousands of miles per hour in the universe of this vast, infinite thing. We're stuck with each other.
Think about what you just said. We are 1 inch from something far more terrible tonight. I mean, the country is already shocked, and we are in bad need of healing and unity in this country, but we are 1 inch from something far worse. Republicans I'm hearing from tonight are shocked. They are worried about our country. They're worried about Donald Trump. They're worried about the rhetoric around Donald Trump. I mean, I hate to say it, but the rhetoric around him over the last few weeks, that if he wins an election, our country will end, our democracy will end, it's the last election we'll ever have. These things have consequences, okay? I don't know what the motivations of this shooter are. I don't know any of the details, but I know the rhetoric around Trump has grown extreme. You mentioned some other violence. You didn't mention the Supreme Court attempted murder of a Supreme Court justice, or the congressional baseball game where Steve Scalise was nearly murdered. One a conservative, the other a Republican. But we have people in this country who are dedicated to telling half the country that if Donald Trump wins an election, the country will end, the Constitution will go away, and so on and so forth. What I want to hear from all elected officials is this kind of hyperbolic extremism has consequences, and it must end. Yes, we're all shocked, and yes, political violence has no place. Where does it come from?
I can't agree more with him. That's the Republican commentator on CNN. I agree. But where is this hyperbolic extreme rhetoric coming in? It's from the progressive left. I don't care if you're a progressive left. I don't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat. I've never voted a day in my life. I'm going to be voting this year for Donald Trump. Full disclosure. Not because I 100% agree with everything he does or say. In fact, I've never really leaned toward Trump ever. But this has gone too far. Someone is dead. I'm not saying that anybody should be held accountable besides the guy who pulled the trigger. I'm just saying you can't come out and say, tone down the rhetoric, making this a both sides issue. I'm sorry, this is not a both sides issue. When you tell people that Trump is Hitler, that Trump is worse than Hitler, that he's a threat to this nation, he's going to change them, blah, blah, blah. When you do that, there are people out there that are not well that hear that, and then they act on it. Now, I'm not saying that the Republicans are perfect. By far are they perfect. They're just as bad. But Donald Trump is a former president, no matter if you like it or not. And for somebody to get that close to murdering Donald Trump, for somebody to get that close and killing an innocent bystander who threw his wife and his daughter to the ground to save their lives and take a bullet in the head for it, for somebody to be able to do that is absolutely unacceptable. The CIA is the best of the best when it comes to security, which brings me to how the hell did they let this happen? Nobody saved Trump's life that day except for Trump. He turned his head at the last second. If he had not looked at the Jumbotron or whatever he was looking at, he would have been dead. And this would be a totally different conversation. Now, the reason I'm making this video is to give full disclosure to my audience because I feel that I owe y'all that. I'm not a political person. I don't push my opinions on y'all ever, and I never will. However, things have changed. This has now become one of the most important times in American history. We are literally living through history. We have got to come together, and I believe that woodworking can bring the majority of us together. The ones who are woodworkers, who may have different opinions, who do have different opinions, we can come together, and we do that on my live chats, and we discuss woodworking. And it's a place where we don't even realize it, but there's two opposing sides that are literally in the same place at the same time, with grace, with dignity, with opinions, and with respect for their fellow human. That's why I'm making this video, because I respect every last one of you and your opinions. Now, if you're on the right and you have been radicalized, I don't want you watching my channel. If you're on the left and you have been radicalized, I don't want you watching my channel. However, if you're watching this video and you can agree with most of what I'm saying, I want you to stay and be a part of my channel. And I want us to make an environment and a community of woodworkers who can definitely come together and who can definitely disagree and laugh it out. Because we all need to agree on one common thing. Life is important. Violence has no place anywhere.